Welcome to Speaking Re-tell Lecture Introduction. In the introduction session, we'll look at what this question type is about and what are the things that we need to keep in mind to score well at it. So, the basics first. You'll get 3 to 4 questions of this type in the exam. You'll hear a lecture. So, it can be an interview, it can be an academic lecture, can be someone speaking at a seminar or a speech. And what you have to do is, once you've heard that, you have to um, say it, you have to retell it in your own words, in your own way. Okay, so imagine that there was a lecture at the university, in your class, and one of your friends didn't attend that lecture. So at the end of the day, when you go back, you have to tell your friend what happened in the class, what the lecture was about. So that's essentially what you have to do in this question type. So there'll be 3 to 4 questions, and you have to listen, and then you have to be able to tell it in your own words. The lectures are usually between 60 and 90 seconds, and there'll be a 3-second countdown before which the lecture will start playing, the audio will start playing. And before that, most of the times, you'll also see an image related to that lecture on your screen. So in those 3 seconds, quickly have a look at the image and try to guess what the lecture would be about. So that helps you focus your mind on potentially what you're going to hear. All right. Once the lecture ends, you'll have 10 seconds to prepare your response, and then you'll get 40 seconds to give your response. So before the microphone opens up, you'll hear a tone, and then you have to start speaking into the microphone to give your response. The 10 seconds that you have, once the lecture ends and before the microphone opens up, those 10 seconds are very important and you have to use them wisely. So while you're listening to the lecture, you should take notes. Don't try to write down everything, just, the key points or the key words so that, you remember. And during those 10 seconds, frame a response in your mind that, this is how I'm going to begin the lecture, this is how I'm going to end the lecture, and these are the main points that I'm going to cover in my response. Okay, so use those 10 seconds wisely, and then as soon as you hear the tone, start speaking into it. This is what the screen will look like. All right, so there's one box at the top, which is the box, in which the audio will play, and then below that is the box, where your response will be recorded. So both of these boxes, they will have the progress bars, which will tell you how much time is remaining, when the audio is going to end, and when your recording time is going to end. And on the left, you'll usually see a picture. So, for example, if you look at the picture in the screen, you can guess that it's probably going to be something about the countries or geography or history because it's Athens and Sparta. So, if you have that in mind, then your mind is already ready to listen to things related to these countries or to the history. So that helps you to focus. So it's a test of your listening skills and a test of your speaking skills. You have to be able to listen and understand that what the lecturer, the person who's speaking is trying to convey. So you have to be able to identify what the main theme is. You have to be able to identify the mood and the purpose of that lecture. And you have to be able to capture what the main ideas there are. All right. And then it's a test of your speaking skills. So what that means is, how well you communicate, how well are you able to reproduce that, right? How well are you able to use those 40 seconds that are given to you to give a response, give a good response in that. So it's a test of that. Okay, so a few things that I want you to keep in mind, which will help you to score well. As I've said earlier, look at any picture associated with the lecture and try to guess the theme because identifying the theme is very important. If I have to say, that's the most important thing that you have to keep in mind, then take notes. Don't try to copy down or write down each and every word, but take notes. Have a response structure in mind before you go for the exam. this is an important point, and what that means is that as a result of your practice, that you do in this course, you would already know in your mind how to begin a lecture response. That for example, you should always begin by the lecture is about, or the speaker is trying to tell. So you should already have those few things in your mind, that what a structure is like. Okay, and it will come to you as a result of this practice. A lot of this we also cover in the masterclass for speaking, and then in the templates and tricks section in this course, we give you templates that you can use to structure your responses. So that's very helpful as well. Okay, so keep those structures in your mind, and try to frame your responses around those structures. The other thing, include all the key points. So you should be able to identify what the key points are and be able to include those key points in your response. The more key points you are able to identify and include, the better your score will be. And then try to understand the intention of the speaker. Okay, so what exactly is the speaker trying to say, and how he's feeling about a particular topic. That's important, because then you can try to communicate that in your response as well. All right, so those are the key points. And again, your daily practice is important. If you just listen to some small audios every day. Some on our Facebook page, we keep posting a lot of this material. If you listen to the news every day, you will hear a lot of English audios. And then once you hear something, for example, let's say a minute's worth of audio, then just pause it and then try to say it in English, what you just heard. All right, that gives you practice, and that puts you in the habit of, reproducing what you just heard. All right, so over a period of time, that would really add up, and that will show in a good score result for you. Okay, so that's it. You're ready now, and you can go to practice set number 1. All the best.